Hey everyone, it's John here from Hockey back with another video, and this video is kind of a mock draft after the World Juniors, but it's also just predictions on what's going to happen. So players that will get drafted in the 2023 first round. So I will be doing the full first round. So a little bit of a heavier video, but I want to mix in different things. So as I said, trades the rest of the way and maybe into the draft and different movements. So I'll also make predictions on which teams I believe will be trading a first round pick before the deadline in order to go for a playoff run. So I'll be going through different things like that. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. I hope to see you more on the channel. Hit that like button, notification bell, all that good stuff. So let's go through the simulator first to kind of form a mock draft. So as I'm recording this video, it is January 7th. So a bit of ways to the trade deadline and a bit to the NHL draft. But as I said, it's relevant. The World Juniors just happened. I usually make a video like this at some point after the World Juniors. I wanted to record some of it during the World Juniors so you can get on the fly analysis, but we're doing it post World Juniors. So let's see a simulator. First try, whatever happens, happens. Let's hit the simulator. And whoa, the Blue Jackets. Okay, I promise I didn't plan this. The Blue Jackets get the first overall pick. So I do have the Jackets jersey in the background. The Hawks, but the Hawks fans, I have the Hawks jersey here. Fall to 3. So first overall, Columbus Blue Jackets. Second overall, San Jose Sharks. And third overall, Chicago Blackhawks. And then following by the Anaheim Ducks, Arizona Coyotes. So the Habs kind of get finessed here. Montreal having their own pick and Florida's pick, both either dropping or staying put. And Columbus jumps in that one spot. So as we see, Columbus gets Connor Bedard. And then we'll do the rest of the mock draft. Because I'm not doing a bunch of that baloney where I'm debating if Bedard's going first or second. Like this year, especially after the World Juniors, we just saw Connor Bedard like breaking records in this World Juniors. He is going number 1 no matter what. And yeah, it's going to be so sweet to see Connor Bedard in the NHL. And in this scenario for the simulator, he goes to the Columbus Blue Jackets, but we'll see what happens. So let's pause the recording. I'm going to make my mock draft based on these results. Give you some predictions on which teams will trade their pick away, so that would go to a different team, and as well as other just player trades that are going to happen. So let's pause the video and get to the mock draft. Okay, so let's get into the mock draft now, and this is Ryan Tebek's mock draft or rankings. I should call it the rankings for him because he's ranking top 41 there on a tough draft to rank, if I'm being honest. It's so close. There's so much talent in this draft, we know that, and it's going to be a tough one to evaluate. So I did make a mock draft, and for myself, I think I have to do way more research, way more scouting, and just internally like looking at articles and seeing where I can rank certain players. But take a look at Ryan's rankings. I'm not going to go through everything, but I will go through my mock draft in relation to I respected his rankings, used it to my own knowledge of what I feel like I followed the OHL a lot this year, the dub, but overseas, not so much. So I've had to take from other people evaluating prospects. So let's get into it. I don't want to ramble on anymore. So those are the rankings, sync them in. And we'll bring this up, and we got some other tabs to bring in. So this is a little bit of a mock draft based on my knowledge, but also consensus. So Connor Bedard to the Blue Jackets, Leo Carlsson to the Sharks, Adam Fantilli to the Blackhawks, Mitchkov to the Ducks. I still think that should be the top 4. I understand there's been debate on like Benson being in there, and I really think Benson could be a top 5 pick. Will Smith as well. I have the hot take of Dvorsky, fellow Slovak, going to the Montreal with Slavkovsky, with Mishar. It's a hot take. Montreal's got 2 picks. I just think if Dvorsky's on the board, especially for the second pick, I'll take my odds on that Montreal will scoop up Dvorsky, especially if the Panthers pick is like outside of the top 10 and Dvorsky's still there. I feel like the Habs will take Dvorsky, and I like Sale, Dvorsky. It's going to be some kind of combo like that for Montreal, unless they reach on a defenseman or the Panthers pick falls a bit. So I'd be shocked if the Habs reach a little bit for a defenseman, but there's a couple guys there, like Sandin Pellikka could be a guy. There's a couple guys that the Habs could reach on, essentially. But I am looking at the stacked forwards here in this stretch. And Colby Barlow, Callum Ritchie, 2 guys in the OHL, Quentin Musty as well. I think all 3 guys between Barlow, Ritchie, and Musty should be top 20. I have here Barlow going to Ottawa, Ritchie going to St. Louis, and Musty going 17 to Colorado. And honestly, guys, I was just at the Wolves game last night as I'm recording this video. Musty and Ritchie dropped the gloves. So it'd be cool to see them on rival teams in the Blues and Avalanche. I hope that happens for certain guys like that. But yeah, I mean, I like the Red Wings and Oilers picks a lot here. Just again, going down to skill. I think Canucks fans would love Crystal. The hands, I just think so dynamic. And I'm looking at that top 15. There's probably some bias of me saying Musty's got to be in that top 15, but I feel like consensus has had him in the second half of the first round, so I'm respecting that. But yeah, there's a lot of potential steals. And the Rangers get going Cagnoni and Perreault. I think they'll probably, if they have their 2 picks. But this is where I'm also going to make predictions, guys, is like, I think we're going to get a bunch of trades and teams trading those first round picks. So if I had to put the betting odds down, the Rangers probably don't have both first round picks going into the draft. So if they keep both forward defensemen, but I do think there's a high potential the Rangers trade one of them, and I'll get to that. I'm going to make a few predictions on trades. Same thing with the Leafs. If like a guy like Luca Pinelli or even Oliver Bonk, Golden Knights or Bruins getting like a steal late, Oliver Bonk with the London Knights, I just think he could be a steal, right shot guy, 6'2", he could be a steal later in the first round. But Luca Pinelli, I think if he gets past the top 20, like that'd be a steal for a team in the first or second round. But there's a bunch of others, like Gavin Brindley, I feel like is a guy that I've seen some people have in their top 15, and I've seen some people have them out of their first round. So it's always going to be debate like that. So I put Gavin Brindley in there. And yeah, there's a few other names. I think a guy like Oliver Moore has the potential of even going higher. Same with Ryan Leonard. But I will put that bias out there that I believe Quentin Musty, if I'm taking him top 15, that's a dub. But we'll see. But Luca Pinelli could be another steal, as the other Pinelli brother went second round. And yeah, I mean, maybe the LA Kings don't make that mistake, and maybe they scoop the other Pinelli at 20 and have both brothers. But yeah, guys, let me know on what you think on this just quick mock draft. But just quick predictions here, and I want to shout out the hockey writers here. And they were talking about Timo Meier. So right now, if I could make a prediction, I think the Rangers, Leafs are a couple teams that I could go after a Timo Meier. And I do think the Leafs, if they weren't to get a Meier and extend him past this year, I really do think a guy like a JVR or like one of those guys on Phillies, because I think there's been a lot of reports of the Leafs, even recently, were scouting the Philadelphia Flyers Coyotes game. So look out for that. But also, I would look at Tanner Jeannot and I would look at Matthias Ekholm as 2 guys that will get dealt in first-round picks. As I said, the Rangers are one of those teams that I think they have 2 first-round picks they're likely trading, and it goes to the Bo Horvat conversation. The Avalanche, Rangers, Devils, those would be my 3 teams to go after Bo Horvat, so I'm expecting that trade. Even maybe, I don't know, the Johnny Taves trade might require, if there's heavy retention, second-round pick, maybe a first-round pick if the Hawks are including something else. And then my other take will be Edmonton is being traded, and one of the teams, I know people have suggested the Leafs, I'll make videos talking about this stuff, but Oilers to Edmonton, that could be a vibe. That could be a result, I would say. So Edmonton, Horvat, Timo Meier, I think we're going to see a bunch of trades. So first-round picks, if I go back through my mock draft, I think the Islanders might end up keeping it if they're not in a solidified spot. I think the Avalanche ends up trading their first-round pick. So if it's not the Avalanche, whoever takes that Avalanche pick could get Quentin Musty. I would say the Capitals might, but I would say the Capitals need to start getting some more prospects. Same thing with Pittsburgh. If I'm Pittsburgh or Washington, I'm not trading first-round picks anymore, especially as Crosby and Ovechkin. I know it's a scenario where maybe that people are going to say that's a bad take because you should be giving up the draft picks just to go all in with these guys there. But I would make the opposite argument. I still think you can make deals and not just give up first round picks, especially in a top draft like this in 2023. I think the Caps and Penguins, if they're not closer to the high end of the standings and you have potential of getting a top 20 pick in this draft, I think if you're Pittsburgh and Washington, you have to keep it. You got to restock that prospect pool. But Rangers, I think, will definitely trade. I think the Devils are definitely a huge candidate to trade their first round pick. Same with Toronto. So when I'm looking at Boston, Vegas, Carolina, Winnipeg, Toronto, and then the Rangers with their 2 picks, I really think only a couple of those teams keep their first-round picks. I really think so. So all these later picks, the only one I would say, like for me, I'm looking at as a steal is Luca Pinelli. I think he could go a lot higher than that. But if he falls, a contender could get another Pinelli brother. But we'll see, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Give me your thoughts on predictions and what you think for the draft and just following the World Juniors. I just wanted to make another video like this. Maybe I was rambling on a bit, but quick mock draft, quick lottery sim, and just talking about different things. But no, it's interesting. I think we'll see a lot of trades this traded line, but also it's going to be some GMs being a little bit more, timid to make deals too because of the stacked draft. So World Juniors, Team Canada won. I hope you guys did enjoy the streams that I was able to do. And just, yeah, it's going to be the Connor Bedard show. Anyone that's trying to make a debate at this point is just trying to be different. Is trying too hard to be different because Connor Bedard's the first overall pick. No doubt about it. And there's a lot of drafts where there is no doubt, but people try to create storylines. So Connor Bedard, in this scenario, he goes to the Columbus Blue Jackets. As I said, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys on the next video or stream. Peace.